Hi, it's good to be with you once again. I hope you've had a fantastic half term. Today is Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day, and my guess is that some of you will have already had pancakes and others will be having pancakes later on, and some of you may be having pancakes all day. I don't know what your favourite thing on a pancake is. Mine is maple syrup and ice cream. But you can't beat a bit of sugar and lemon as well. But Pancake Day, Shrove Tuesday, is the time when we would traditionally use up all the ingredients, all the good things that we enjoy before we begin Lent. And Lent begins tomorrow, known as Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is always the first day of Lent. And it's called Ash Wednesday because Christians use ash on that day to recognize that we don't always do things right. We make mistakes, and the ash helps us to remember that. But I wonder how easy you find it to admit that you've done something wrong. My guess is that it's not that easy to admit that you've done something wrong. I know I don't always find it easy to admit that I've done something wrong. We all try and make excuses for what we've done. It's a bit like whether you admit your faults and your failings. We don't always like to say that we make mistakes, that we may shout or get angry. But it's important that we do. How many of us, I wonder, when someone asks the question, who left the milk out on the side? How many of you say, it wasn't me, it wasn't me? I know at home, we can ask that question, who's done this or who's done that? And everyone in the house can deny it was them who did it. And we know that it has to be one of us because there's only us in the house. But we find it hard to admit that we've done something wrong or we've our faults. Over half term, I watched Encanto for the first time. Fantastic film, and I'm sure that most of you have already seen it, and I'm a bit late to the party. But in that film, the grandmother in the film has to admit that she was wrong. She was holding on to everyone so tightly. She was holding on to this precious gift that they had so tightly that she couldn't see that they were more than their gift. And at the end of the film, you see how she admits that she was wrong. And then the magic returns. Sorry if I've spoiled the film for you, but I'm sure most of you've seen it. But it can be difficult. It can be really difficult for us to admit that we've got something wrong, that we've made a mistake, that we've hurt someone, or that we've told a lie, or chosen not to do something for whatever reason. We try and make sure that we try and cover it up because we don't want to get into trouble. So we might lie or we blame someone else. The problem is that none of those reactions makes us feel any better about the matter. We end up having to admit what we've done, because if we don't admit what we've done, then we feel really bad inside, and you get more and more into trouble. And so Ash Wednesday is a day when we can all be open, and we can be honest, and we can admit that we do things wrong, that we make mistakes, that we're not perfect. And we can walk into tomorrow, if you like, with a clear conscience. In other words, we've laid down that baggage. And part of the whole Christian journey of Lent is about letting go of all those things that get in the way between us and God. And some of those things are not being able to recognize that we make mistakes. And so Ash Wednesday offers us that fresh start. We have a special service in church where we're reminded that we don't find it easy to recognize that we make mistakes, but that we aren't perfect people, and we have to learn from those mistakes. And as part of that, we put some ash on our forehead, and I have some here. And this ash comes from the burning of palm crosses from last year. So a palm cross like this. Ooh. Palm cross like this. And we set fire to these. And some people will do that on Shrove Tuesday at a pancake party. And turn it into the ash. And then the ash, you mix with a bit of oil. And you put some on your finger, and the person puts a cross on your forehead. It's quite hard doing it to yourself in the mirror. And so on Wednesday, tomorrow, you might find people walking around with a cross or a dirty mark on their head because they've been to church and they've publicly said that before God, that I make mistakes. And I'm sorry for the times that I've made mistakes, for the things that I've done wrong. And I want to make a fresh start. And the words that we use in church for this is some funny words, but they are, remember that you are but dust, and to dust you shall return. Turn away from sin and follow Christ. In other words, remember that God created us and that we should turn away from doing things that are wrong and try and do things that are good, the things that Jesus taught us to do. And so we come on Ash Wednesday to say sorry, to reckon for the mistakes that we've made. And we say, we want to start again. We want that new start. And all that means that all through Lent, we can be thinking about that fresh start. What does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean to be in a relationship with God? Because we've let go of all that baggage, all that stuff that gets in the way, the mistakes that we've made. It doesn't mean to say that we will never make any mistake again, because we're human beings. We do make mistakes. But the important thing is that we admit our mistakes, the things that we've done wrong. So I wonder what things you would like, what thing in your mind you want to say sorry for today, something that you may have done wrong, a mistake you may have made. Loving God, we thank you that we can be open and honest with you. We are sorry for the mistakes that we have made. And we promise to try and do our best to follow your ways and to love one another. Amen. So if you see someone tomorrow with a funny mark on their head, don't laugh at them, but maybe ask them all about why they've got a cross on their head or a dirty mark on their forehead. Until next time, hopefully see you soon. Take care. Bye.